Hi everybody, this is Chef Ben coming to you live from my kitchen. I have the day off today and I thought I would do a quick video. Last night we had our Facebook Live show, our weekly Facebook Live show over on Kitchen Door Catering's Facebook page, and our guest was Chef Alain Bossé, the Kilted Chef. He was really nice. At the end of the episode he gave me this beautiful Grohmann utility knife. I actually have the knife I use generally is a Grohmann chef knife. They're a local company. The knives are made in Pictou, and they're really nice. So I wanted to say thank you to him for the knife and for coming on the show last night. And I thought, what better way to demonstrate my appreciation for the knife than to actually use it. And I thought a really cool thing to do would be to do a quick demo of how to break down a chicken using my brand new, never before used Grohmann utility knife. Okay, so we have a whole chicken here. This is a really important technique to learn because whole chickens go on sale pretty regularly. This chicken has 2 breasts on it, 2 legs, 2 wings, whatever you want, and it was cheaper than buying just 2 breasts. It was cheaper than buying a pack of 4 legs. Usually the chickens will come in packs of 2, sometimes they don't, but if you learn to break down a chicken, it's a lot cheaper in the long run, and it really doesn't take long, as you'll see. Plus, you can make a really nice stock, which I might show in another video, which you can use as the base of soups or just stock or sauces. So yeah, I'm going to show you really quickly how to break down a chicken. So the main thing you have to think about when you're breaking down a chicken is you're really not cutting through many bones. You might cut through the rib cage a little bit depending on the technique you use, but really you're cutting through joints. I don't know if you can hear that. That's one of my cat toys going off. So you're not cutting through the bone, you're just cutting through joints. So it's really not hard on your knife and there's not really much force. So I'm going to leave the drumettes attached to the wings just to show you a technique that you can do with that. Maybe I'll leave one attached and one off. But the first thing we're going to do is actually take the wings themselves off. So we're just going to lift the wing up, make a nice slice, and if you can feel the joint. And then you just put your knife right through it, and just like that, it comes right off. I have 2 containers here. I have one for scraps and one for meat that I'll keep. So we'll do that on the other side. And again, you just use your knife, and you just find the joint, just using your finger, and you're not cutting through any bone. Like, look, there's like no force at all. The knife does the work, and you're cutting through the joint. Okay, so we have just our chicken with the wings off, but still the drumettes attached. Next thing we're going to do is take off the legs. And for the legs, I always like to kind of make a quick cut here where the skin is, and that way you can open it up and you can see the joints a lot better. So we're not going to cut through any meat. We're just going to cut through the skin. You can see that, hopefully, that I did not cut any of the meat, just through the skin. And we'll do it on the other side as well. And now that we've done that, we can just kind of pop the joints out, get a much better picture of where they are. And again, I'm not cutting through anything, just the meat. And I'm really not even cutting through the meat because the way the bird is, all the muscles and the muscle groups kind of separate when you pull them apart. So you're really not cutting through meat even, you're just cutting through a little bit of connective tissue in the joints. So now we have a chicken carcass. The neck just fell out of the butt. We'll keep that. We'll put that in our stock pile. So we have our breasts. They're still attached to the rib cage and the backbone. And there's 2 ways you can do this. You can take a chef knife and just kind of brute force your way through the ribs and leave the chicken attached at the ribs, or you can just take the chicken or the breast off the rib cage. The way that I prefer to do it is generally cut through the rib cage, but as I said, I told you in the beginning of the video, you won't have to cut through any bones, so we won't do it that way. When you're taking the breasts off, you have to think of the way the backbone or the spine comes down and the rib cage opens up. So it kind of goes down like this. So you have to think about where you're putting your knife when you're coming down, because you don't want to lose a bunch of meat. And that's why I generally like to take the rib cage off and just cut it there, but again, we're not going to. So we're just going to make a small incision right at the back, or right at the base of the rib cage. And then you're just going to use the tip of your knife and just keep it right up against the bone. and you're just going to let the bone guide where your knife goes. And on the front of the chicken, right here, you're going to run into essentially the wishbone. It is the wishbone. And just let that guide your knife as well. And we're just going to do that all the way down until we get the breast completely off. And again, just small slices. You don't want to take big chunks off because you might lose some meat that way. And just like that, we have a really nice sized breast with the drumette still attached. And we'll do the other side really quickly. And it really is, butchering anything is really just about knowing the anatomy of the animal. And the more practice you get, the easier it is to do. And I'm doing this fairly slowly. These can be done a lot quicker than this once you get used to it. I just am doing it slower for demonstration purposes. At least that's what I'm telling you. So, once you get to this point, because you left that drumette attached, you're going to have to just kind of make a quick incision and just cut through that joint. And then we have the backbone and the rib cage, and at this point I am going to break it up. And the ribs are pretty soft, like the knife doesn't need a lot of force to go through. And the only reason I'm breaking this up at this point is because it's easier to make a stock this way than if you have the whole carcass. So now we have these two breasts, and you can leave this little tender bit attached, or you can just take it off and just fry that up for a snack. So I'm just going to do this with one of them, and I'll leave the other one on. There's a technique called Frenching, or when you do it to the breast, this is actually called a chicken supreme, or some people call it an airplane breast, or an airline breast, I'm not sure why. But what we're going to do is just take our knife, and we're not going to cut the bone off, we're just going to ring around it. And this is kind of more of a high-end technique, but if you do it at home, it looks really cool, and it's easy to do. So all we did was slice the meat around the bone, and now we're just going to scrape it up. And all we're doing is cleaning the bone here. And now you can see we have this nice clean bone here, and then we have the breast. So we're actually going to turn the breast skin side down on our board, just like that. We're going to take our chef knife, we're going to put it just where the bone starts to open up to the knuckle at the very end. And we're just going to cut through. And I'm going to bring this closer. You get this really nice clean cut, and you have this beautiful, beautiful breast. So you roast this, and you just get this nice bone, and it adds a really nice presentation to it, and it's really easy to do. And then this can just go in your stock pot. So that's it, guys. That's how you butcher chicken. And then you have your legs with your thighs. Actually, you can take the thighs off too. I'll do that with one of them. So again, it's just finding the joint right through. Like it's not something that needs a lot of force. It's not something that is difficult to do. So we have one drumstick, one thigh, one full leg drum and thigh, one breast that has the drumette cleaned, one breast that doesn't, but you can just take that off, and then we have two wings. I'm Chef Ben. Check out I can never say it. Chit Chat Chop every Wednesday nights on Kitchen Doors Facebook page, and like me on Twitter and Instagram at Chef Ben Kelly. Thank you so much. Have a great day.